Hello and welcome to another video on how to become a business consulting freelancer. So I'm gonna make another quick recap of the section 4 here is to refresh all of this concept and also something that I'm going to apply for a particular client that tell me that he needs some bug fix issue to fix on their Shopify shops. So by looking at this section and refresh some of the concepts and then write it down into a notepad about what are the next step that I need to do here, which is for this particular client is to keep track last meeting, so keep track or record last meeting log, or log in this case is log last meeting in hotspot, okay. So yeah, so so with this, all right, so here looking at this section 4 to refresh a little bit more of this concept, and especially of how to conduct research and gather quality data. Well, it's important to recognize that data is something powerful because it can help you to inform, persuade, or also reinforce your point of view, but it can be misleading. So especially if you're conducting a research for a consulting project, it's important to recognize the different source of this data, from the most valuable to the least valuable. So first party data that come from the company, most of the time you have to sign an ending agreement. Once you do that, you can see how this company has been performing, what they have done in the past, and from there provide your suggestions and recommendation. So this is something that also I'm going to do, right? Especially for this client. Look at their first party data, okay, to do things like this, right? Understand what they have done in the past, okay, what they have done in the past, how they have been performing, okay, and how they have been performing. So this is now doing the conduct a research, okay. Conducting a research. Okay. Then the second party data, which is data that comes from the company. The second party data is data that comes from trust sources. Okay, the data that they are not anonymous. They have a great record of research report, peer review, peer review, whether it's paid or not, and it is very beneficial because it comes from these trustworthy sources. So the whole point of this, in this case, in this context for this client, is from the Shopify. Okay, Shopify stores. Okay, build a Shopify store. Build a Shopify store. Okay, as well as review before this. So review video. So review video content. Understand what they have done in the past, how they have in performance. Review video, which is a video that I record from that meeting. Okay, so this is the second party data, right? And the third party data is data that comes from aggregate sources. So this is the least valuable because you can verify the quality of their sources. So they usually are behind some paywall, and you cannot know every single author. Okay, this is for the data. But now when it comes to the actually conducting the research, first, see things from different perspectives because things are not black and white. Play devil advocate with yourself. Second, gather relevant data. Very, very important. So here, once I conducted my research, okay, gather relevant data from this. Gather relevant data from their app store. Okay, gather relevant data from their app store. From different perspectives. 3.1, gather relevant data from their app store. In fact, I'm going to create a new document here so you can see what I'm doing right now. Okay, and in this case is conduct a research, okay, for the client. Conduct a research for store client. Okay, this is one. In Shopify, right? Okay. So this is the couple things that I need to do, by the way. Okay. This is more for the business aspect here. This is for the business. We're using the CRM. Okay, so log the last meeting in HubSpot, and then conducting a research. This is the series of steps, and then conducting a research. So once the client secure or once the payment, so once contract is approved on Upwork, then okay, so once the service agreement is done, when the service agreement is sent and payments are secure on Upwork here, then so once service agreement is sent and payments are secure on Upwork, then you're going to conduct this research. Not before, because we're not getting paid for that. So, but it's important to log this. All right. So, so. So yeah, so after here right now I'm looking at how to conduct a research, right? By see things from different perspective, okay, and gather relevant data from their app store, keep notes and records of every source you obtain from them, from their problems, okay. So here is understanding what this company, or understanding what this, so what is the company needs, okay, understanding what the company needs, products and service, okay. Then go into the specifics, like the further down into a specific, like categories, pricing, you know. So understanding what is the company needs, products and service. So further down into specifics like category, pricings, companies, or in this case product review or store review, understand them, okay. Store review, and if you can have access to the first party data, that's great, okay. Look at the first party data. In fact, this is how we should conduct this. Which is 1, conduct this 101, and then 2, look at the first party data if you can have access to that. So understand what they have done in the past, how they have been performing. In this case, review the video. Okay. So once you understand that, okay, about that particular about that particular store, in this case for the client, okay. So once you understand that, now it is time to do a competitor analysis. So competitor analysis. So to understand who the other players are in that industry, other players, and what they have done. All right, other players, what they have done, and see what you can learn from them. Right? To create is a keyword and create a keyword research. Okay, where now you're gonna use that keyword research use keyword tools to understand what's going on in that industry. Okay, use keyword tools to understand what's going on in that industry, and then on top of that, you're gonna get up to date feedback. You're gonna get up to date feedback from Word News to see Jesus. Okay, to get up to date feedback from Word News to see regulations and where this industry is going. And where this industry is going. So this is all of the things that I'm going to, this research that I'm going to conduct, okay, for this particular client. So yeah, okay, not only for the client but also for myself. It's for both parties. It's for both parties. Again, this data here from this moment on, and I won't disclose this, especially if there's first-party data, which is data that comes from the company. No, not at all. Okay. So in my case, just to make a quick recap of a research that I conduct on e-commerce, which is here. Okay. Okay, which is here, here on the e-commerce. This is a research that I conduct. This is a research that I conduct from here, right? As well as the competitor analysis and things like this. So what I'm gonna do here is to create a new file here. Okay, where in this file I'm gonna call this the e-commerce research. Okay, the e-commerce research. This is the e-commerce research, right? The trading of goods and services on the internet. So it is your bustling city center or your brick and mortar shops converted into zeros and ones on the internet superhighway. Okay, and what are the type of e-commerce? Okay, the type of e-commerce are, or the actors involved, on an e-commerce are business, consumers, wait, what? And government. In government. Okay. So this is the actors involved in an e-commerce. In an e-commerce. Okay, so you have the business, consumers, and the government. So how they relate each other, you have things like the business to consumer, which is the widely most common use case, where here you have examples. Okay, examples like like this. So what are the types of e-commerce? So you have business, the consumers, and government, as well as the type. So what are the actors involved? What are the actors involved? What are the type of e-commerce? So what are the type of e-commerce? So what are the actors involved? This. And what are the type of e-commerce? Okay, business to consumer, business to business, consumer to business, government to consumers, government to business, and consumer to and government to consumers, right? And then some couple examples here. So example of business to business. What is this? You can put it here. Okay, example of business to consumers. You have here online retailers like Amazon, Target, Walmart on the US, retailers or minoristas in Spanish, online marketplace like Etsy, eBay, subscription service like Netflix, Spotify, recently Twitter, ordering food and delivering service like Uber Eats or Grubhub, online travel and booking. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you got this sorry, online travel and booking like Expedia, Airbnb, Booking.com, and now for business to business, you have now online marketplace like Alibaba, Amazon e-business, eBay Business, EDI, electronic data interchange, which are traditionally paperwork such as invoice or purchase order. Now it is done electronically through these systems. IBM provide that online portals. So for very large business, when they want to streamline their procurement, the public, their when they want to streamline their supply chains or procurement process, so they said that such as Walmart Supplier Center or SAP Arriva Network, wholesale e-commerce, with our manufacturers and distributors serve directly to business. So for example, Granger or Uline on the US, business to business payment solution as well, like Stripe, PayPal. And when it comes to an example of consumer to business, C2B, we have things like freelance work, user-generated content, online survey such as SurveyMonkey, which is money, a pay online survey to users, usually for marketing research purpose. Crowdfunding for people that want to raise funds for their projects. Reverse auctions. So when now consumers submit a quota to a product, or when a user submit a price quota to a product in a reverse auction. So name your price or Priceline website, a good example of that. Then I look here at the government to business, okay, where here we have public procurement portals. So government agencies set online portals to government agency set online portals so business can bid on government contracts like the FBO, the Federal Business Opportunity, on the US or the UK contract find and service. Payment and tax filing and payment systems, where tax filing and payment systems, such as the electronic federal tax payment system on the US or the UK revenue and customs. Business registration like the SBA on the US or the UK Company House. Permit and licensing applications. For example, food licensing or permit or building permits, custom clearance and international trade, such as electronic custom clearance or export declarations. And when it comes to example of government to consumers, like this, so you have tax payment portals like the IRS, so they allow their citizens to pay their taxes. So tax payment portals, driving in vehicle, so driving licensing or vehicle registrations, passport application, all passport applications, online bill payments, as well as the order of birth and death certificates. So, for example, on the UK, through the General Register Office, or on the US, the National Center for Health Statistics, that kind of thing. And when it comes to example of consumer to government, online online petitions, online donations, payment of fines and fees, online tax filing, and this is the source. So source ChatGPT. Where and how does e-commerce takes place? Most of the time in the mobile e-commerce, the enterprise, or the social media. Okay, and this is just definition of the e-commerce, right? So these are just definition of the e-commerce. Okay, all right. This is another question here. Okay. And then after that, the competitor analysis. So compare analysis things like the Amazon, for example, but not all of that. This is Amazon. Okay. Such as Amazon. Okay. Alibaba. Yeah, Alibaba. Shopify. Right, Shopify. IKEA. All right, Walmart. What the? Walmart. eBay. And then the keyword research. You can put here like, nope. Things like this. Or much better to be more descriptive here. All right, and then the keyword research on the competitor analysis here is to understand who the other players are in that industry. Okay. So that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.